Okay, people ask me all the time how to get on Forbes 30 Under 30, and I have a lot of theories. But since I'm at the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit this week and they have a session about how to get on the list, I'm gonna go see what they have to say and I'll report back. Okay, so I just left the event about how to get on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list, and I wanted to share the 3 biggest takeaways in order of importance that they shared with us, as well as some of the red flags that they noticed across a lot of applicants. One of the things most people don't know about Forbes 30 Under 30 that actually makes it easier to get on the list is that there are 20 different categories that you can be listed for. From social impact to enterprise tech, there's probably a category that's most relevant to you, and having so many options dramatically increases the chances of you getting on the list. After someone nominates you, and by the way, you can nominate yourself, you get a chance to fill out an application, and that application goes to a panel of judges. These judges typically have expertise in whatever your category is and have typically had a lot of success themselves. One of the big topics they talked about today on the panel is basically how to stand out as an applicant. And they said there are 3 things to pay attention to. And by the way, the order here matters. The first thing that they look at are your metrics. And they made it very clear that a big piece of this puzzle is the financial success of your company. That doesn't necessarily mean revenue. It could also mean how much money you've raised. But the panel explained today that they're kind of like investors. They want to make bets on people that they think are going to be successful in the long run with the idea that they're working on. And so they really encouraged everyone in the audience to focus on metrics first. The next thing they care about is impact. How many people are you reaching? Are you solving a really big challenge today, or have you recognized a hole in the market? Being able to follow your financial metrics with real-world impact will really make your application stand out. After you get those first 2 things right, the last thing they're looking at is your background. This is your story, where you come from, and specifically why you chose this business, this project, this organization. They say that a lot of people share compelling stories about their backgrounds, but what they're looking for is the story around why you are working on this specific thing. So make sure that any context you're giving about yourself, your family of origin, where you're from, make sure you're tying everything back to the business and the category that you're actively applying for. They also mentioned that for people whose financial metrics maybe don't look compelling at first, the other thing that they're looking for are moonshot ideas, even if those ideas aren't going to recognize real revenue for a long time. An example that they gave today was literally about gas stations in space. So even if your metrics don't feel super compelling, if you have a moonshot idea or solving a really big problem, you still have a good chance of making the list. They also mentioned that having a reference who's well known in the space can help a lot because it shows the panel that you're a good person to bet on and that experts agree. The last thing I'll share is a red flag they mentioned across a bunch of applicants, as well as a myth about the Forbes list that they also debunked. The red flag is when too many people nominate you. It basically said that makes you look desperate and creates a lot of work for them because they have a team of 50 people who might be seeing your application again and again. And when that happens, they said it typically backfires on the applicant. And lastly, the myth that they debunked is this idea that the person who nominates you really matters. Before this panel, I believe that the person who nominates you should be another lister on Forbes 30 Under 30. But they said that actually doesn't matter because a good applicant will always stand out. And if you get nominated and you apply and you don't make the list one year, keep applying, keep getting nominated. At the end, they shared that sometimes they see an applicant a little bit early in their journey and they want to see if that person is going to keep moving forward and reapply the following year. My co-founder and I first got nominated in 2022 for the social impact category, and we didn't make the list. But then the next year, one of our investors nominated us, and we made it onto the list for enterprise technology. So if you don't make it the first time, keep reapplying. And if you're interested in me making a series about all the tips and tricks around Forbes 30 Under 30, definitely let me know in the comments. Or if you have questions about the session that I just went to, I took a lot of notes. There was a ton of Q&A, and I'm happy to share the answers that I heard. Best of luck getting on the list. Hopefully I'll see you at one of these events in the future. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next Thursday.